what I'm going to do is we're going to talk about making these punch bait bobbers. So what I did is I went and bought a piece of cedar from Lowe's for like $3.50. Essentially, it's like it's one of those kinds that you just use for your fence or whatever. So pretty cheap, right? And then I took and cut them in 1/2-inch thick strips. Now what I did is I made a few different sizes, just just to see what happens. More like an experimentation thing, really. So you got one that's 18 inches long. Got another one that's 12. This one's about 8. Then you got a 6-inch one here. So it's all like I said, experimentation purposes. So we're gonna see what happens here. What I have is I also bought these small screw eyes. They're size 7/16. Got these at Ace Hardware for a couple bucks also. Now the eyes are going to be a little large for the actual slip bobber bead. So I'm just going to use 2. I'm going to use the small stop, the slip bobber stop bead, as well as just a normal bead. I think it'll work just fine. Ain't gonna hurt nothing. And then when I was down there at Lowe's, bought 99-cent can of white spray paint, so that way I can paint the tips of them, maybe get a little more visibility out of them. And then while I was at Ace Hardware, I picked up a thing of some aerosol wood clear finish gloss, the way to take a beating, so it'll last long, and hopefully I don't have to buy bobbers anytime soon. So safety always, safety first. So we're going to go ahead and start this process here. Now I'm using a bench grinder. For those you can see, I'm using a bench grinder here because I'm not going to go buy a sander. So if you have a belt sander or whatever, that may, that'll obviously do the thing. But I feel like if this can grind metal, then it obviously can, work on some wood. So we're going to go ahead and start, and here we go. Alright, so once you get it cylindrical, where you want it, as far as being more cylindrical, then you just take a piece of sandpaper. Is what I do, and I just start sanding on it and twisting. Smooths it out, tries to get all the burrs and everything out of it. Not the burrs, but just the defects from the grinding wheel. Alright, once you get it sanded to where you want, now we're going to take and install our screws there. A little small screw eyes, like I said. So take and install these things. Alright. So like I said, once you get it where you want it, then you can go ahead and take your eyelets. So you get your eyelets here, like I said, they're fairly small. So you're gonna watch. So what you want to do is you want to go about 3/4 of an inch up from the bottom, and then roughly 3/4 of the way up your bobber. So you have one here and roughly like right here or so, and install that. Alright, so we're going to take and install our little eyelet here, about 3/4 of an inch up, and we'll try to keep it in the center as much as possible. They're fairly easy to screw in by hand. Got a little Allen key I just put in there, make it a little easier. Nothing too crazy. There we go. We got the first one installed. So you can adjust them as need be, whatever. Now let's go about 3/4 of the way up. Alright, so you got a tape measure here. You can either eyeball it or do whatever you want. Do the same thing here as well. Try to keep it in the middle. Alright, there you go. There you have it. There's the eyelets. Alright, now we're going to take, spray paint the top of it white. Like, you can put any color you want on it, doesn't really matter. You know, neon greens or oranges or whatever the case may be that you want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some tape on the bottom, just to, it'll help maybe give it a nice crisp line or whatnot. Like I said, you don't have to be fancy if you don't want to. If I can get this tape to work. Alright. So I'm just going to put a piece of tape on it. Now I just make sure, obviously, you're in a well-vented area, so that way you're not inhaling all these fumes from the spray paint here. Oh, excuse me. Alright, so got our tip painted. Like I said, if you want to paint the whole thing white, then paint the whole thing white. I don't see what would be the problem with that. Shoots just more visibility. And as I go through and make these, I'll probably just mix up the paint schemes and everything, which obviously, like I said, you can paint them however you want to. This is just essentially a generic video of how to go about doing it. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take that clear wood finish that I got, and I'm going to spray this and put some protective coating on it, and that way hopefully they last a while. From my previous experience using this clear wood finish, it dries fairly quick. I used it, I took an old wooden duck call that I had, and I actually made it into a shifter knob, and what I did is I took and coated it with a 10-11 coats of this, and it's holding up good so far. I haven't had any issues with it, so I feel like it's pretty good stuff, so that's why I chose to use this for these to see what happens here. That's what it's all about. See, it's pretty much dried to the touch already. It's pretty fast. So the amount of coats you put on is obviously going to depend on how much you want to put on it. So I don't think there's really any set number, or even if you have to do this, you may not even want to do. You may just want to take and use it as is. I mean, you may not even want to round it off. You may just want to take and use your strips you cut, and I don't see. I mean, I'm sure it'll work just fine. Who knows? So it's something. It's definitely something to check into. I think so, obviously, because I'm making them, and I've done it. So all right, so there it is. It's pretty simple. That's it. That's all there is to it. And stuff, like I said, you may want to take and paint this whole thing. You may want to take and make a white tip, maybe with some orange lines, like another bobber or so. But yeah, you guys make them and use them. You guys catch fish and enjoy them. Let me know. That'd be awesome, and I'll do the same thing, and I'll keep you all updated. And then once again, thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and subscribe and keep watching. Thanks.